Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we are tackling a subject that is genuinely life-altering. If you or someone you know has been held back by a past arrest, this is exactly where you need to be. We're going to map out, step by step, exactly how to navigate the Texas expunction process and get that fresh start you deserve. Seriously, what if you could just erase your past? Imagine the profound relief of a completely clean slate. We all know a criminal record can follow you around like a shadow. It pops up in background checks, it can absolutely destroy job prospects, ruin housing applications, and honestly just steal your peace of mind. But Texas law offers this incredibly powerful remedy that actually physically destroys those records. It is a total game changer. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. Understanding Texas expunction, 2. Taking the initial steps, 3. Preparing and filing forms, 4. Navigating the court process, 5. Hearings and your clean slate, and 6. Avoiding common legal pitfalls.
Section 1. Understanding Texas expunction. Demystifying the legal reality.
So there's a massive amount of confusion out there about this, so we really need to look at the stark contrast between these two options. In Texas, you basically have two different legal tools. And expunction, which is governed by Chapter 55A, is the gold standard. It literally destroys and deletes the record completely. It's treated as if it never even happened. On the flip side, we have non-disclosure under Chapter 411. That one just gently seals the record from public view. The case still exists, and government agencies can still peek at it. So if you want it gone forever, for sure, you want an expunction. So who actually gets to use this tool? Looking at the eligibility rules here, Texas law is very specific. You're generally eligible if you were acquitted at trial or on an appeal, if your case was dismissed, resulting in no conviction, or if you actually received a pardon based on actual innocence. But check out the exclusions. You are explicitly excluded if you violated your probation, if you absconded after release, or for most convictions. Basically, expunction is designed for cases where the justice system concedes the prosecution shouldn't stick, not just for general convictions. Section 2. Taking the initial steps. Gathering your history. You absolutely cannot just start drafting legal documents based on memory. You need the official facts. Step 1 is contacting DPS for a background check. Step 2 is completing your fast fingerprinting, usually through Identigo, and Step 3 is retrieving your certified criminal history report. You have to have this official fingerprint-based report to get the exact details you need, which ensures your petition is totally flawless. Section 3. Preparing and filing forms. The paperwork that matters. All right, now you'll need to prepare these essential documents. You're looking at a petition for expunction, an order-setting hearing, and an agreed order of expunction. But I really need to emphasize this last point. It is absolutely critical that you list all involved agencies on your petition. I'm talking about DPS, the local PD, the sheriff, the DA, the clerk, basically anyone who touched your case. We're going to talk about why this is so incredibly vital a little later, but it is the absolute core of your paperwork. Let's do a quick financial reality check. For a straightforward case, if you hire a private attorney, the total cost typically falls in the $1,500 to $3,500 range, and sometimes higher. That accounts for legal representation and the mandatory government filing fees. But if you're navigating the forms yourself, DIY approaches can significantly bring down those costs to just a few $100 for the filing fees. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the system protects low-income individuals. If those filing fees are a barrier for you, you can file a statement of inability to afford payment of court costs. Basically, this is a sworn affidavit filed with the court asking the judge to waive those mandatory government filing fees based on severe financial hardship. It's a powerful tool that ensures justice and a clean slate aren't only reserved for folks with deep pockets. Section 4. Navigating the court process, from filing to final order. Tracing this timeline, it all starts on day 1 when you file your petition with the district clerk. From there, Texas law actually requires a minimum 30-day mandatory waiting period. This just gives the state time to review your request. Next up is the court hearing, where the judge reviews your petition, and if everything looks good, it all culminates in the final order, which gets signed by the judge and is then formally served to all those agencies we talked about.
Section 5. Hearings and your clean slate. The ultimate payoff.
I want you to read this quote with me. Once that judge signs the order, quote, "You may legally deny the occurrence of the arrest and the existence of the expungement order."
That right there is the ultimate reward. It grants you the absolute legal right to check no on job applications, housing forms, and financial loans when they ask if you've been arrested. You literally get to take back control of your own story.
And to show you just how seriously the courts take this, take a look at this official court document. This specifically outlines a defendant's right to an expunction right after an acquittal. So when someone is found not guilty, the court actually uses forms just like this one to formally notify them of their powerful, immediate right to have their records destroyed. It's built right into the system itself. But as with pretty much all laws, we have to be completely transparent about the limits. Here are the very few exceptions to your new clean slate. You do still have to disclose the arrest if you are ever questioned under oath in a criminal proceeding or for certain federal immigration purposes. Federal and immigration applications play by their own rules, so keeping a personal copy of your records before they're destroyed might be a really smart move if this applies to you.
Section 6. Avoiding common legal pitfalls. Securing your success.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how strictly Texas enforces a successful expungement. Releasing expunged files is actually a Class B misdemeanor. What that means is once your record is expunged, any official who knowingly leaks it faces the penalties of a Class B misdemeanor, which can mean up to 180 days in jail. The state is legally obligated to fiercely protect your new privacy. But they can only protect you if you do your part correctly. Here is the fatal mistake you have to avoid. Step 1. You forget to list a specific agency, like a municipal court or local jail, on your petition. Step 2. The judge's order then doesn't apply to them. Step 3. That omitted agency legally retains and shares your arrest record. Because you left that one loose end, your background check will still pop positive. It completely defeats the entire purpose of the expunction. Finally, please take a second to review this disclaimer. This explainer is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Please be sure to seek personalized legal counsel for your specific case. But honestly, you are now armed with a deep, structural understanding of exactly how to clear a criminal record in Texas. Now that you have the map, what will you do with your clean slate?